Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Business Book Bistro, where you'll learn from fellow authors what's working for them to leverage their book for fun and profit. So you're bound to discover new ways you might make more money from your book, from sales or other activities. I'm your host, Cindy Carruthers, also known as the Beyond Book Sales Coach. And today I am really pleased to be welcoming Allegra Loewenstein. And I'm going to switch over to the script because I want to make sure I read her bio properly. Allegra is a best-selling independent author on the topics of holistic health, emotional eating, and how an earth-based spirituality can foster health and happiness. She also speaks on how to go from idea to published and when to outsource your writing. She is a ghostwriter for speakers, coaches, and business owners also. And I just want to say welcome, Allegra. You are the first ghostwriter that we've had on this program, and I think the listeners and viewers are in for a treat to learn a little bit more about what it is you do. So why don't you start by telling us why you wrote your books?
Yeah, thanks for having me. So I wrote my books originally as a health coach, and I saw so much interest and leverage from the first book that I wrote another one. And pretty soon I just realized that the books were really a hot place to be. And I had previously ghostwritten. And so I did a total pivot of my business and did a collaborative project with multiple authors writing different sections to sort of figure out where exactly that I wanted to place myself. And at the end of that project, I had ghostwritten a chapter for somebody. And I thought, this really makes sense. And just to clarify what ghostwriting is, it's when you actually outsource the entire writing project. So it's different than a writing coach. It's different than an editor. It really is a true outsourcing of the writing, but the writing's still completely based on the author's ideas and genius. Mm-hmm. And so at that point, I already had books, and I was going into the business as a ghostwriter. And so I now use my books as kind of proof of concept and marketing for my writing as a service.
Mm-hmm. So it started as participating in an anthology where everyone contributed and sort of mushroomed from there. That's very exciting.
Yeah, exactly. The anthology, part of the realization was I thought, oh, this will be so easy. I don't even have to write the book. And as it turned out, the chapter that I wrote under my own name and then the chapter that I ghost wrote, those were the easiest chapters. And so that was part of it. Is I thought, this is really a skill that I have that I can bring to the table for people. And, it's a valuable service that saves busy people time. Mm-hmm. And, for me, it's kind of my zone of genius, as we like to talk about. And so I endeavored in that collaborative project specifically to sort of try out a lot of different aspects in this writing process, coaching and ghostwriting and the editing, the formatting, the whole thing, right? Book to finish, but with other people. And that was not a moneymaker. The book is not sold well, but it was highly valuable for me as, exploratory project and a clarifying project.
So you learned from it. If you went through the whole process, like which pieces of it you are good at, which pieces of it you like, which you don't like, and they're all learning experiences, and they're all important because they bring you to where you are now. Now, one thing I wanted to clarify for people is that a ghostwriter somebody's not dictating to you what to say. They generally give you ideas or they give you materials to look at, and you extract and organize, consolidate, make it cohesive. Help me with that. What is it?
Tell me a little. Exactly right, Cindy.
That's what you do.
Exactly
okay.
Right. It's, typically, I do my ghostwriting. I do a very lengthy interview process. So I record it, right? Because then I can really capture that person's voice, their true voice. I listen to it but it's not a transcription by any means, because the interviews, we talk about this, any interview, right? It's human interactions. But then we have the outline of the project kind of from the beginning. And so then I rearrange, mesh, create. I do all the writing. I will integrate their turns of phrase, their unique way of speaking, But it is me doing the writing. And so it's typically busy people in business that are knowing that they need a book for a business purpose, but already far enough along in their business that they don't have time to write a book, and or they know that's not a skill that they have. Even people who write a lot, they don't necessarily have the skill for a sort of long form type of writing that a book requires. Yeah, so interviews, and then if they have other content, if they have classes, or if they have a blog or some other short form that they've written, that can be useful. But it's not, you don't ever take that and just assemble it. You can tell when people do stuff like that, it's not a good book.
It has to flow. And if you can't make it, if it's choppy, then, I mean, yes, every chapter has to stand on its own, but there has to be a flow that goes through it all. So that's actually a very unique way for somebody to be using a book the way you do, as the proof of concept to other busy people who are looking to write a book. You could say, here, I've got my book. This is the kind of work that I do. But you also sell your books as well, correct?
Yeah,
they are.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I do essentially have two businesses, but they mesh and intermingle. So I have the business of ghostwriting, which is a service-based business. So I'm selling a service, and my books that I've written that I'm the author of do just really, I mean, most people don't even care about reading them. They just know that I've written. I have 8 books now. So just the prolific writing, I think, speaks for itself. And I usually cannot share my clients' work that's often under confidentiality contract. So you kind of need something to say, no, really, I really do write books. So that really works as a powerful kind of a background marketing concept to just say, I have all these books. And then I separately do sell my books. And again, kind of jumping backwards in time to when I wrote that first book and I was working in the health coaching industry, I thought that was going to become a major income stream for the health coaching business and a marketing tool for health coaching services. And what I found was it's just, I consider it my slow burn. That's my slow burn business, right? So to me, certainly people can kind of make their book list explode and sell a lot of books, but you have to sell a lot of books to make that a primary income stream. And so what I realized was I can kind of do that more as a passion-based project, and I do a lot of free content. For each book that I write, I make some printable or an audio or a video series to go with it, and I get people on my list for those things because I only sell through Amazon, so I don't get their contact information that way. And then I market in a monthly email to the people on the list who have an interest in the content of, my books. And I always clarify, my books, when I'm the author, have a specific subject. My clients' books is their specific subject. So the writing process is pretty different, but at the end of the day, I'm growing an email list. And I just found that I do have organic growth, that we talk about that, but it is slow, and it's more fun for me to keep that in my kind of passion zone and not stress about like, oh, I don't have thousands of people on my email list yet. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm almost to 1,000. That's pretty good. And I only do that from a place of joy. And so I give away all that stuff direct from my email, and that's where it's just totally organic. People come and find it slowly. And then I also donate my online courses that I created as a health coach, but they go kind of with the book content. I actually donate those to charity. I used to sell them. I donate them to auctions, actually. And there's an amazing tool called Donation Match. So as a business owner, if you have something of value, you can't put your freebies on there. So I don't put my freebies from my books, but these are in-depth week-long courses that I had previously created. They go to auction. So you're donating to causes that you care about. You can choose which ones aligned with your cause, your mission, your values. And then because they contact me to get enrolled, then, then they go from the course, they roll over to this email list, and it's all content. So that's also, the pandemic kind of messed that up because a lot of the auctions got canceled. They were in person, but it's picking up again. And that's actually been it's not fast, but it's very consistent. And it's just a really feel good way to reach out to new people. And it's clever because they are, right? They always say the person who pays for something is the best client,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's the people you want on your list. So they did pay for it, but they didn't pay me for it. So it kind of like opens the door in this different way.
Well, it positions you as a generous kind of a person, giving person, and I would say the kind of person who I'd like to connect up with, because I bought the course to support this group. You donated it to support this group, so you've got something in common with them already. And my mind is going boom, because there's so many things I want to cover here, and I know we want to keep this to 15, maybe 20 minutes. What I will ask, or what I will say, is that later I will get the link for Donate Match. Is that what it was called?
Donation Match. I'm a Donation Match fangirl. I truly love what they do. It's an amazing organization.
Well, I will get the link for that, and I will put it into the show notes, or drop it in the comments below the Facebook video when we get it, so that people can connect up with that, as well as some information on connecting up with Allegra. But I wanted to ask, because you're using your books in so many different directions, and that's really what I think a lot of people are looking for, is the ideas of where they can go with their books. So you participated in an anthology. You offer a ghostwriting service. You've written your own books. You've got some courses and some audios out of that. And like I said, my mind is like, which way do I go first? So maybe let me circle back to your book, or the books that you write for as a ghostwriter. Your topic for yourself is around the area of health. What kind of topics do you write on for other people? Is there a niche that you special in, or is it just like busy executives, I'll help you ghostwrite your book? So tell me a little bit about that.
Both. Yeah, both. So typically it is people, the most common thing that I see, and this gets to kind of what does a book do for you, is they are using it because they need a book because they're going to start speaking, or they're already speaking and they want a book to sort of leverage further what they're doing on the stage. And so I would say that a book is a really powerful tool for opening doors, right? So sometimes it's maybe slower than you want it to be to make the direct income from selling your book, but it can be a really powerful tool to opening doors, which can then get other means of monetizing it, right? So people are speaking, they're getting paid to speak, or they're speaking for free, but they're selling their book as they speak, things like that. And oddly, I've written for a lot of people in human resources who were doing some interesting stuff, kind of talking about that. Human resources seems like a sort of not that exciting field, but at the end of the day, it is about human connection. So a lot of these people are coming saying, look, this is about, I want to write this book that kind of humanizes human resources, right? Someone in the law who is in HR law, who is about really trying to essentially prevent litigation by working on that human-to-human connection in the first place, right? In the workplace setting. And so, yeah, there's just really, every business is different, right? So whether you're an author with a business or whether you're a business owner just wanting to put a book into the mix, everybody's business is different. So I do see that it's kind of unique to each person. But what I really love to do as a ghostwriter is tell a little bit of the person's personal story, focus on kind of what their expertise or wisdom is, and then always in the nonfiction realm, how can the reader apply that in their own life? I mean, that's what my books do too, right? I'm writing about more the sort of health and wellness realm, but I'm always thinking, I don't want you to just read this and put the book down, and I don't want you to nod your head as you're reading it and then get to the end and put the book down and nothing ever changes. I want you to nod your head when you're reading it and then put the book down and be like, okay, I'm going to do A, B, and C now because I understand this. So again, whether it's for someone working on like how are we going to build that human connection? Well, okay, let's make sure that we talk about when you communicate with somebody, make sure that you, whatever, this isn't real, but like make sure you make eye contact or whatever it is, action. We want to break this down into things that we can walk away with and do in our real life.
Well, one of the I'm going to switch gears and I'm going to ask you the one question that I do like to ask everyone. And that is, in the course of writing, marketing, or selling your book, or figuring out how you're going to monetize it, we learned so many lessons along the way. And so I'd like you to share, if you can, something that was unexpected that came out of your process, something you didn't really expect that surprised you.
When I completely deleted all of my social media accounts, my income from my book sales didn't change at all.
Whoa.
And I felt like I got a raise because I got so much time back.
I like that. I like that.
So don't be overly attached to things that you have done if you don't really see the proof.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was so invested in social media because I spent a lot of time promoting myself and my books on social media, and I kind of knew it wasn't really moving the needle, but I spent so much time over multiple years. And I think, you know, that's my one silver lining from the pandemic. I can't say it brought me a lot of silver linings, but I completely deleted all social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I didn't really use Twitter, but I deleted it anyways. And I got a lot of my time back, and I really saw zero changes in.
Do you have any idea, any thoughts as to why that happened or how that happened? Like, what avenues are you using that are selling your book that is working, or haven't you been able to like pinpoint it? Just the realization was that social media didn't make a difference for you.
I think at the end of the day, I think my bestseller status that I achieved for several of my books, I do think that came out of social media, but that was not a lot. A lot of times that was when the book was on sale for 99 cents or whatever, you know, the ebook. So I can't say that even when I reached number one, that it was necessarily a big money maker, and then that wasn't lasting. And so, you know, I just think a lot of people aren't really necessarily buying things via social. People do buy things via social media, and I know people sell books on social media, but I just always had a feeling that that wasn't really my way. But I was so attached to it because I had spent so much time invested in it. And so, yeah, that's sort of a big takeaway. It's like, if you don't see the proof, then don't be overly attached, and don't be overly attached to what people say you have to do, because everyone says you have to be on social media, you have to be on social media. And certainly you can use it. And I did at times, but when I was launching a book, I was on there 4 times as much time as what I was normally on there. So I'm just thinking, this is just, even if I made $100, $200, whatever it was, like, is it really worth my time? It really wasn't.
Well, now, like, when you say social media, that's different from digital. So I know your books are on your website. Are they also on Amazon? Are you selling other avenues?
I only pretty much sell on Amazon. I'll occasionally do an in-person event. If something comes up, just if I happen upon it and I'm like, yeah, that would make sense for me, either something local or something health, but whatever. That's like maybe once a year, and obviously not the past year. But really, I think I have a lot of good keywords in my Amazon titles and book descriptions. So I think people, because Amazon ads never really made me money. You know, I never really made more money running ads than not running ads. I think I have a lot of good keywords, and my first book is still my bestseller. It's called Emotional Eating Detox. I think the title is really spot on. It has a long subtitle with a lot of keywords. It has a good book description. That's still my bestseller. And I really have honed in on my email list. You know, it's slow. It's a slow growth thing, but I've really just focused on that. And again, yeah, I just sort of shifted it where I really decided that this was a slow growing arm of my business. And it's allowed me to stay in a place of kind of joy with it, which honestly, when you're writing, you don't want to be miserable when you're writing. I think that comes through. And it allows me to be a little bit playful, and it allows me to be kind of no pressure and to let go of things that aren't really serving me, either personally, you know, like I said, even if I was making $20, $50 a month selling books on Facebook, like, I'm spending an hour a day or more, and I don't have good boundaries. I'm getting sucked in, and then I'm like wasting time too. I'm not a kind of person who's like 15 minutes on and off Facebook, and then I'm done. I don't have this self-control, I guess.
That's really hard for, I mean, they spend millions and millions of man hours trying to figure out how to keep you on and sucked in. So the lone voice trying to like pull back it's hard. It's very hard. Well, I know that I'm going to ask you for a final, you've given a lot of advice. So I'm going to ask you for a final piece of advice in 1 second, but I want to give you a few seconds or like a minute to tell people about how they can get in contact with you. You have a free gift that you want to offer to them. So would you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, thank you. I'm offering up what I call a coffee chat. It's pretty casual via telephone. I usually do it on telephone. I don't even get on this screen. And it's just a chance if you have questions about ghostwriting, if you think you're considering a ghostwriter, then it's just a chance, like kind of a heart-to-heart casual conversation to answer any questions about that. And you can go to allegraloewenstein.com/contact. It's AlegraLoewenstein.com/contact. But if you go to the homepage, it's right there. I don't have a lot of tabs. And yeah, you just say like, interested to chat with you about ghostwriting, and those go direct to my email inbox. So we'd love to invite people on the phone.
So anyone who's watching either live or on the replay, if you are a busy executive or you know a busy executive who wants a book but doesn't want to or doesn't have the time to put into it themselves, please pass Allegra's information on to them. I didn't ask you how you marketed to those or found those people, but certainly this is one way of putting your name out there, talking a little bit about what you do, and asking people to come have a chat with you, because I think they could learn a lot about the benefits and the time that they would save if they worked with a ghostwriter such as yourself to get a book together. And certainly you've shared with us a lot of different ways that someone could make money from their book. So it's not just, okay, I have this book, now what do I do with it? Re-listen to this, because she's got 5 or 6 ways that someone can make money from their book. So we are coming on the end of this, and we've gone a little bit over, but so very, very quickly, I would ask you if there's any final piece of advice that you wanted to share with people today.
Yeah, I would just say when it comes to selling books and marketing books, just try to stay in that playful zone and just try it. Try something. Try whatever crazy idea that you have. Give it a try until you have enough data to see if this is sustainable for you as an individual and if it's moving the needle for your business. And then if not, let go. Because it took me way too long to let the social media go. I knew it. I knew it needed to go, and I took the pandemic to stop me. So
okay, so that's 2 pieces of advice. 3 pieces. Try something, keep it playful, and if it's not working, don't feel bad about letting it go. So okay, well, thank you. I really appreciate you coming on with me today. I want to thank everyone who watches, whether you're, again, live or on the replay. There's been a ton of good ideas here from Allegra. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to also remind everyone that we're here every week. Next week is, what is it, the 28th, and we'll be here again at noon. If you are someone who has a book for business and you're interested in being a guest, please send me a message. I'd be happy to chat with you to see if you're a good fit and hopefully host you and have you here. If you know other authors or people who are interested in using their book for their business, please let them know that we are here every Friday at the Business Book Bistro on morefromyourbook.com. You'll find from other authors what's working now to market and sell their books, to spread a message, or to build their business. I'm your host, Cindy Carruthers, signing off now and wishing you all much success in the work that you do. Thank you, viewers, for being with us. Thank you, Allegra, for coming and sharing all of your knowledge. Appreciate both of you. Bye for now.